What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS 3 Raw TV. Let's fix this camera angle, make this shit square. All right, listen. You guys can see the title. Why I don't like The Rock anymore. Now, let me start off by saying most of you probably already know this because I made a video about it before. So there's a video up about this already. But, you know, I was probably one of The Rock's biggest fans, just like most of you watching this right now. Very inspirational, very motivational, and not just a fan of his. You know, I was a fan of his when he was wrestling, but it was more so when I saw him really starting to tackle the acting. I was very curious as to how he made the shift and literally jumped from one to the other and just completely dominated that whole entire new industry in such a short period of time. It was very quick, right? And next thing you know, he's a superstar of the world. Like, if he ran right now, he's going to win president hand down. Like, if it was him, Biden, and Trump, hands down, he fucking wins. Boom, done. Those other guys get 5 votes. He get like 50 billion votes. How many? 300 million people in the U.S.? There'd probably be 295 million votes for The Rock if he actually voted, if he ran, right? And you watching this right now, I made the video about it. If it wasn't for The Rock, you wouldn't even know who I am right now. None of you would have ever found this YouTube channel. This YouTube channel would not have existed without The Rock. So putting that all out there, for me to say I don't like The Rock anymore, says something big, right? It says something really big. Now, the way that The Rock influenced me when I was younger, and I've said this story before, is I read his book, The Rock Says. And I basically used that as a blueprint to leave competitive bodybuilding behind and move into more of the social media stuff and put my energies and concentrations on that and kind of leave the other thing behind. That was what I learned from him. Football's done, cut it off, leave it behind. Don't think about it. Just do wrestling. Wrestling's done, cut it off, leave it behind, just do acting. So those were some of the things that I took from The Rock's book that he was doing. And I tell you what, everything that the guy did, it just seemed like he had the right words to say. He had the right demeanor. You know, he never did anything wrong. He was never getting in trouble. You couldn't get more of a super fan than what I was with The Rock, right? Bought the sneakers, whatever. And then something really fucking disappointing happened. Now, I know a lot of people kind of turned their back on The Rock when he supported Joe Biden. Now, my thing is, I didn't vote. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm an individual, right? You can't put me in a box. You can't label me. I decide what I like, what I want, where I want to be, etc. Not any kind of party that aligns with my beliefs. No, I decide for me. So for him, when I was watching this, I said, you know, that's pretty fucked up. He's never been political. He's never said a word about Joe Biden. All of a sudden, he jumps on the fucking Joe Biden train. I think that, it was interesting how all the celebrities were jumping on the Joe Biden train. And I kind of looked at it, I said, okay, well, he's a celebrity. They stick to their own. He's kind of selling out. But, I mean, that's what they do in Hollywood, right? They do that. They sell out for fucking everything. I mean, that's just how it is. Fine. So even that, I was like, you know what? I don't agree with, what he's saying about the Joe Biden type thing. But at the same time, that's The Rock. It's my boy. Okay, it is what it is, right? And then I saw this video. Now, I've been, again, a fan of Saturday Night Live since I was a kid. I was 12 or 11 years old. I remember watching Saturday Night Live when fucking Eddie Murphy was on there. Now, excuse me, some of you probably don't even know who Eddie Murphy is. But he was a comedian, obviously, now that Coming to America, etc. He's been, a huge star, worldwide. And he was on Saturday Night Live. I used to watch Saturday Night Live. I loved it. And Saturday Night Live did a skit. And that was it. As far as I'm concerned, The Rock is nothing to me anymore. And some people may be saying, well, you've been a little harsh. Bear with me. So The Rock, like every superstar who gets the opportunity, if Saturday Night Live called me tomorrow, I probably would have done it, right? Had the opportunity to host Saturday Night Live, and they do these skits. Now, one of these skits, I don't know who the fuck wrote it. Whoever wrote it, I'd love to see who that person is. I'd love to see them justify how they wrote this script. This skit, and I'm not going to put it in here. I could put the actual video in here. I'm going to put a link in the description box because I don't want this shit on my channel. You guys can click on it and look at it. This collection of evil masterminds was the skit, right? All the evil guys and girls from all over the world, these evil masterminds that, they're villains, right? All these villains. And The Rock was one of these scientific evil villains. And they were competing for the craziest, worst, bad invention that was fucking going to kill humanity or whatever it was. And The Rock's invention, when he stands there, he pulls the sheet off it and he's standing there. They said, what is it? And he said, it's a child molesting robot. And as soon as they said it, I went, what? And I was like, where's the fucking punchline to that? What's so funny about that? A child molesting robot. And The Rock goes on to say, well, it's a robot and it molests children. And that is the whole skit. The whole skit is The Rock justifying how evil he is because he made a child molesting robot. Now, at that point, I didn't need to see anymore. I don't need to hear anymore. There's nothing he can do at this point to pull himself out of that ditch as far as I'm concerned. Now, some of you may be like, Jerry, you're overreacting. It was a Saturday Night Live skit. Hang on. If there was a Saturday Night Live skit that said, and it was The Rock, and he said, I made a robot that molests or that rapes women unknowingly, randomly out of the blue, how would 99% of you feel about that? I guarantee, not only would you say that's in poor taste, but you'd be like, what kind of sick fuck would say, who would make a fucking skit like that, right? Well, I'm sorry, and many of you may not agree, but I am a survivor of sexual abuse. I'm a survivor of sexual molestation. I've talked about this on my channel. I came clean years ago. It was 2015, I think, was where I put the video out called My Darkest Secret. So therefore, I'm speaking from experience. Okay, I'm telling The Rock, if you ever see this, I don't know who the fuck told you that's okay, but if my comparison to where making a robot that rapes a woman unknowingly doesn't actually click in your brain, think about like the worst thing you could possibly do. Whatever it is, the worst thing you could fucking possibly do. Something that would offend the fuck out of you. Something that would make you fucking just hate whoever's saying it. And then put it on Saturday Night Live and tell me you would like that person still. You wouldn't. So my question to The Rock and Saturday Night Live is, you think this is fucking funny? This was a joke? Molesting kids is a joke? Creating a robot to molest children, it's a joke, right? It's ha-ha, punchline. It's on a comedy show, right? Late night comedy show where it's supposed to be a joke, right? You think making fun of or making light of child molestation, you think that's fucking funny. You think it's a joke, right? Ha ha ha, it's very funny. We created this skit. The Rock's part of it. Everybody's going to laugh at it, right? It's not funny. It's not a joke. It's not just in poor taste. It shows you're a fucking scumbag. Whoever wrote it's a scumbag. And The Rock, I'm sorry. But if you fucking read that script and one of three things happened, this is how this happened. Either number one, you were completely oblivious that you were doing anything fucking wrong, which means you're a fucking idiot. And I have a hard time believing you got to where you are in life right now being a fucking idiot, okay? Number two, you knew what you were doing was wrong as fuck, and you did it anyways. You were like, fuck, this is bad. Ugh, this bothers me to think about it, to say it. But fuck it, I'll do it anyways. That's the second option. The third option is you knew it was fucking wrong. You knew it was bad. You didn't want to do it, but someone else made you do it. One of those three things is why that fucking skit happened. Now, either one, if you think it's not a big deal and it's fucking funny, then fuck you. Number two, if you think it's fucking wrong and you did it anyways, fuck you. And number three, if you did it because someone else wanted you to do it, fuck you and fuck them too. So no, I don't like The Rock anymore. I don't give a fuck what he does. I don't give a shit if he fucking turned water into wine right now. Fuck him. Like I'm telling you right now, one of those three reasons is why that fucking thing exists. And no matter how you fucking slice it, that makes The Rock not a fucking good person, period. There is no other fucking way to spin that shit whatsoever. So in closing, what did I learn in 2020? I learned that sometimes we put people on pedestals that shouldn't be there. Sometimes just because they're human and make mistakes. But sometimes the people that go on those pedestals, to get to that pedestal, will sell their fucking soul to the devil. They will sell the fuck out, sell their soul, sell their family's soul to make sure that they stay on that fucking top and to get there in the first place. And once they get there, they do not give a fuck who they hurt, who they offend. They don't give a fuck as long as they're doing what they're told to do. Period. So they can stay on top. To me, that doesn't make The Rock cool. Doesn't make him a good person. Doesn't make him awesome. Doesn't make him a good actor. Doesn't make him anything except a human being that's selfish as fuck, sold the fuck out, isn't controlled by whoever the fuck told him to do that shit, and is a poor excuse for man. Yeah, fighting words. Oh fucking well. Next time you think about making fun of molesting kids, child molestation, creating a robot to do it so you can win your fucking villain award on your stupid fucking skit, fuck you. I'm Bio3 and I approve this message. We're out.